moment. So in this round, that increased a little bit. Right behind Lauren Alaselka, we have Claire Cryan, who is on the board right now, doing the forward 2.5 somersault full twist. Just 0.40 points behind Lauren Alaselka is Claire, and also Alexandra Blazowska and Matilde Borrello are there at 130, above 130 points. So that's the battle for 12th place as of right now. Good dive by Claire. Nice way in lining that dive, lining it up. Probably her shoulders drop a bit ahead of time. That makes the dive move forward. Damian Bell pretty happy about that. 55.50 is definitely above average. This is gonna help her quite a bit. And now Caroline Kupka, same dive by the Norwegian diver. Strong on the board, but same as Claire before her, she also drops her shoulders a bit ahead of time and makes the dive move forward even more than the Irish diver. Also not completely straight with her hips and body in the water. 5s from the judges, 45 points though. Now on the board, Tekle Sharia, back to half somersault tuck, 2.8 degree of difficulty. And no, completely missed. Back to half somersault tuck. She did get a lot of speed in the somersault, a lot of momentum, just came out too late. She was at 3 meters from the water when it was time to come out, held on a bit. That fraction of a second for too long that makes the dive go over. That's what happened. Same dive by the pike position for Matilde Borrello, and I can tell you that a little breeze picked up this morning compared to the other days here in Belgrade at the pool. Very nice for us not getting in the water, but that could bother the divers a little bit. It's not too strong though. Hopefully it doesn't get worse than this in the afternoon for the finals. And Matilde, who was in 15th place, does not get an above average scoring dive. That's for sure. 4s for her, 4.5s. And she should have been faster in that somersault. 169 points, just 39 points here. She will need an amazing forward twist in the last round and maybe a couple of mistakes by the divers in front of her if she wants to dive again in the afternoon. Now Alexandra Blazowska, reverse 2.5 somersault pike, another diver that was in the battle for a final, for a spot in the final. And she boxed. Oh well, not the performance she wanted. And I gotta be honest, with the regular competition she had on 1 meter, both in the prelims and the final a few days ago, I was expecting a better job by the Polish diver. Actually, watching her practices these past couple of days, I saw some great stuff by her. Probably a bit of pressure on her. See, the dive is very well executed. This is an excellent dive, actually. And too bad she stopped on the first try of the hurdle, because great jump here and perfect clean entry for her. Too bad. This would have scored 7s and 6.5s. Unfortunately, 2 points deduction for her. Still 42 points, so she might still have a chance on the last dive. But same as Matilde, also Alexandra needs a great last dive. Although she has a low degree of difficulty dive, 2.5 on the forward 1.5 somersault, double twist. Elle Tuxen now on the board, also reverse 2.5 somersault for her. Oh, what a strong jump. Very strong on the board. It seemed like she put all her efforts on that part of the dive. On the come out though, she let the legs fall short a bit too much, but a good dive overall. Can't complain with that for a preliminary round. 48 points, and LA is in second place at the moment. Juliette Landy, reverse 2.5 somersault, tuck. Good top part of the dive. I gotta say it was easy to see how before getting in the water she twists a little bit with the legs. You notice here comes out, and before getting in the water she has a little twist. The dive was very clean. Would have been 8s if she didn't see 6.5. Would have been 7.5s, 7s, maybe a couple of 8s here and there, but she had that little twist at the end that made the judges give her 6s. And Juliette is in 7th at the moment. Let's see if Lauren Alaselka, was sitting in 12th place, if she does a good job with her forward 3.5 somersault pike. And she does get vertical and just not completely straight. She gets in the water still tiny bit in a pike position. The dive was not high enough, but overall a good job by the Finnish diver. Huge mistake for her on in the second round. She recovers from that 49.60 on this dive, and she's right behind Caroline Kupka in 4th place. Emilia Nilsson Garrep, inward 2.5 somersault pike for the diver, was sitting in 2nd place after 3 rounds. Two medals for her here this week. Looking for a 3rd one now. Oh, wow. Way too short. Way too short. Super slow in the somersault. No, not enough room to hold on to the pike position and get vertical. Force from the judges. She has still the lead in the competition and not struggling. I mean, she's not worried of getting a spot in the final, but definitely needs better job in this dive later this afternoon. 193.60 for her. Jana Rother now, back to 2.5 somersault pike for the German diver. Has a chance of getting ahead of everyone right now. She will most likely do that. She needs 45 points to get ahead of everyone at the moment. Does a good job with that, and with the 49.50, she has a 4.40 points lead, and she gets ahead of Emilia Nilsson Garrep. Dajarne Bent Ajmail, forward 2.5 somersault pike with a full twist for the British diver. I said it in the past few days how in the prelims for some divers this preliminary round is just another practice. Dajarne is one of those divers who is definitely here to get aiming for gold. She has the look at that dive. This is an amazing forward twist. As I was saying, she has the opportunity to get her 3rd gold medal here. And look at that, 64.50 points on this amazing forward twist. Dajarne is in 1st at 211. This is definitely just another practice for her. She'll be back here this afternoon, and she'll need to focus and battle it out with the others for a medal, maybe a gold medal. Same dive for her teammate, Amy Rollinson. Good job for Amy, another nice dive for the British team. Compared to her teammate, she's just a little bit further away from the board, but overall above average, and Amy is now 20 points behind her teammate at 191.85. Let's see Naïs Gillet, how she does on her forward 3.5 somersault tuck after leading in the previous 2 rounds of dives. Nice, good job. Very clean in the entry. I personally do not like very much the way she lined it up, the way she came out of the somersault. Her shoulders move forward and she grabs her hands a bit ahead of time, but ends up being very clean in the water. 6.5s for her. Again, once again, she gets ahead of Desjardins and leads the team, the group after 4 rounds at least as of right now, before the rest of the divers perform their 4th dive. Sude Koprulu, 4th place for her. Let's see how she does with the back and reverse dives in the last 2 rounds. And gets on her head, not very clean in the air. I gotta say, technically she does not move very well. Ends up finishing her 2nd somersault at the very end, very close to the board, to the water, and not very clean. So 4.5 from the judges, 37 points, and she drops down to 9th place at the moment. Very close to a bunch of other divers there, but drops down in the rankings quite a bit. And I don't want to sound mean. Oh, problem there with bees and mosquitoes apparently for Elna. She's taking her time, making sure bees and mosquitoes don't bother her. She's set to go now. Forward 3.5 somersault pike. She needs a good dive here. She was 17th. She needs a real good dive to be back in the battle for a spot in the final. Struggle with the hurdle. And does a very good job getting vertical, but let me tell you, that hurdle was not very well executed. And again, Elna is not gonna be in the top 12 rank. A few divers to go before the end of the round. So Elna, let me check really quick. She's at 166. And well, probably at least she's gonna end up being at least 10 points behind the 12th spot at the end of this round. Back to an F somersault pike for another diver that hasn't performed the way she wanted and the way we were expecting. Victoria Kesar, back to F somersault pike, quite short. 5.5s though. It is above average, and she's right behind Elna Widerstrom at 165. Now on the board, Estilla Mosina. Fortunately for her, a huge mistake, failing the dive in the previous round. Fell in the water. Let's see if her hurdle is better here. The hurdle is much better, and overall the dive is not too bad, just not high enough. Didn't jump the way she was supposed to off the board. She picks up her knees way too early. At the end of the dive, though, she is vertical, not too clean. So 5s for her, 42 points. Teresa Jelinkova now, the diver from Czech Republic, back to an half somersault tuck. She was 11th. She needs at least 50 points here, and she's not getting them. She needed 50 points to get to 182, and that's where Lauren Alaselka is. And she's not getting those points. 32 points only, 164. She ends up being behind Elna Widerstrom and Victoria Kesar. And 12th place right now is Matilde Borrell at 169 points. Luisa Arco now, reverse 2.5 somersault tuck. And whoa. Luckily for Luisa, she did not fall in the water. And she has a chance to redo this hurdle. Completely missed hurdle. She was way too fast on that drive step. Off rhythm. Luckily for her, she managed to stay on the board and not fall. Good job with this reverse 2.5 somersault tuck. And as we have seen it before by the Polish diver Alexandra. Also for Luisa, a retake of the hurdle and a good dive. She would have scored 6s, but only 4s in this case. And Luisa drops down in the rankings in 11th place. Wow, 178.50. Last diver of the round, Elettra Neroni, forward 3.5 somersault pike for the Italian diver from Rome. Nicely done. Nicely done. No problems for her getting within the top 12 ranked divers. 6s for her, 55.80 points. And now Elettra Neroni gets in 4th place. Big jump forward for her. On screen.